All right, public invited to be heard anyway?
No. See none.
And the corrections to the April 20 minutes is we're just going to table until next month because we don't quite have this done
Thank you very much.
yet. Additions, corrections to the May agenda?
I have none.
Okay. Council update?
I think you're, come back to me and I'll throw something here.
Okay. And so that brings us to May.
Yay!
Awesome. So I'm just gonna talk to y'all for if I stand or ready for.
Really stand.
Okay. Stand up so we can.
Because it's the end of your internship.
That's
and you're gonna be a
true.
senior.
Gotta make it official.
It's very official.
Project.
So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good practice.
So I've been working with Angela in Art in Public Places to give you guys just a little bit of a starting place for some art tours around Longmont.
You got it?
Awesome. So our goals when we started this were to have 2 tours with 7 stops each. These will be in both downtown, or have been in both downtown and around the Bell campus here at Longmont Museum. Both of them we wanted to do in the interpretive writing style. This gives a little bit more context about the piece rather than like factual, what was the artist like, what was the creation of the piece, history, rather than factual based, it's more like you're walking through a museum. So it makes kind of the museum access to a little bit more accessible to the public. We also wanted them to be interactive. So I'll show in a minute, we'll pull up a QR code. That will be something that will be on each piece that will be in each tour. So basically when you walk up to the piece, there will be a plaque. And there's gonna be a little QR code on that. And you can scan that and it'll take you directly to this stop so that you can get more information as you're standing there in front of the piece. And then you can start from that point and go through the rest of the tour if you so please. And so that's kind of leading into this next point of we wanted just a template and a launch pad for anybody who's going to be working on these tours in the future, but we also wanted them to be very moldable, both to the user experience and to the people that were creating the tours. So if you guys want to change how we're looking at pieces in the future, we wanted that to be really easy, but we also wanted it to be really easy for people to go up to a piece and take the tour, even if they didn't realize the tour was an option initially when they saw that piece. So that was one of our main goals. This is going to be where we're currently standing. I'm going to have Angela click on the link in a minute, but the software that we were using was meant to be seen on the mobile phone. So if you guys want to and are able to, I'd love if you could scan this QR code. You'll be able to see it on your mobile phones as it's meant to be seen and will be seen by most users. And then
And I'll send this to you as well, so we
Yes.
can play with it in the future. Hey Pamela.
I train.
I know it's raining. Oh, it's training and raining.
Training and raining.
And if you didn't get it, that's okay. I can also pull it, we'll also be pulling it up on here, so I can show you guys a couple of things. Oh, yes, and the password, so you'll go over to, actually, can you take them through
Do you want to go through it?
Yeah.
So write that down.
the test 2023, all lowercase, 2023.
She doesn't do passwords like I do.
Yes, sorry.
Thank you. No. Thank you.
I had those.
I have made too complicated of presents. Okay. Right? Everybody ready?
Fantastic.
Okay.
So as you can see, this has taken us to the page with all of the current tours, and then down here in this coming soon tab, which you'll also be able to see. I think it might be over on the right-hand side, like a 3-dot menu, but it'll say coming soon. If you could click on that. And then this is where you'll enter that password, the TEST2023. Like that. And then it'll unlock this tour. Soon this tour will be unlocked for users, but because it's under construction right now and not fully finished, we got it under the coming soon tab.
So you're in the sandbox, right? You're looking at it from something that is not publicly facing right now. So we are going to do, this is an iterative process, right? So we've done the evaluation, we've looked at the content, we've put it into this application. You yourselves will be able to go out into the world, see how it works, with a piece of artwork and then reflect, evaluate, feedback. And then in the meantime, we are doing Spanish translation. We will also do audio in both Spanish and English because that is preferable to Braille in this day and age.
Yes.
And so, because of course how fantastic applications are. And the other thing is, this isn't an app, it's a mobile website. So you don't have to download anything, you do not have to make a username and a password, it's not complicated. As long as you're able to get onto the web, that's what makes this accessible. So does everybody understand that you're on the not a forward-facing front? Okay, very good.
Awesome. So you can see here we've got a tab, and this is just another thing of the interactive changeability for people who are going to add to it. We wanted to specifically to highlight the art and public places towards. So you go ahead and click on that. And then this will bring you up to not only an art public places introduction, if you don't mind scrolling down just a little bit. Perfect. So this is just an introduction to art and public places, and then there will be introductions to each little tours, and then at the very bottom here, we've got our buttons for each tour. Yeah, you can just go ahead and click on the first one. And then it'll take you through a couple of stops to actually start the tour. But once you have started it, you'll be able to see that you've got a nice big picture, and then you've got the description, all of the information here, so that people get like the full experience when looking at the piece and are able to understand a little bit more about why this piece is relevant to Longmont, what they can learn from it, why it's been chosen by the board and by Art and Public Places. And then of course directions for the next stop are included in everything, as well as all of these pieces will be included on the little map. So if you remember at the very bottom of the tabs, there was like a map tab. All these pieces will be included there as well, including Los Arcos, which has 6 different stops, but they will all be considered in the mapping process. But yes, as Angela said, we will be having Spanish and audio for this. This has been a really awesome project. I've really enjoyed working with some of my board members, or some of the Longmont board members to do this. Yeah, and like I say, it's a super interactive process, so if you guys have any thoughts about it, if you hear any feedback about it, y'all are more than welcome to talk to whoever will be running the tours.
Eileen, for now.
Eileen. But yes,
That's great, awesome, good work.
does anybody have any thoughts or questions about it?
Was anybody able to navigate on their phones?
Oh, yes.
Where did you get stuck? Where did you get stuck?
It wouldn't load.
It wouldn't load?
Yeah, so I turned my phone off and back on and tried.
I got it fine.
Oh,
We get on the Wi-Fi.
Are you on, are either of you having a Mac or Droid? What are you?
I'm on an iPhone.
Your Mac?
Mine didn't load
Could
either.
you put it back on one more time, the QR
Oh,
that
yeah.
you have, because I finally found my thing here.
I'll try one
If
more
your
time.
QR code reader doesn't work, the tourlongmont.story spelled forward
STQRY.
.app is the direct URL.
Is that, is this, is this, QR code something city generated?
No, I couldn't make them.
We
This
will
is
do
not city
Okay.
generated, but
The store.
You're fine.
The
We'll
back
get a
end.
city generated one with some of those free QR ones, they actually expire in such, but for this is perfectly wonderful, thank you.
Like that page and then it.
Okay.
yeah, so that's perfect. So then at the bottom.
That's perfect.
Okay, so we have to do something like
I haven't been able
grab the top right corner and pull down the right.
Settings kind of say.
And then you'll get the QR reader right here.
Oh, but you're right. I'm like,
It comes to old school.
Yeah.
I got an A too, or
While we are in the midst of figuring out the technology, does anybody have any questions or comments about the tour itself?
Does anybody have any ideas about what we should do next?
If we get on the Wi-Fi here, that helps.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
What is the
Hubble,
Wi-Fi?
Hubble net?
I really want to get on
all the signs up, whether they had QR codes that link to anyone or not, or just people who don't have QR codes that like get the signs up?
So believe it or not, and this is total sidebar, so I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole, but, Front Range Community College and the city is working on paid internships for the summertime, and they're very short, like 2 months, which is about the time that it takes for us just to get acclimated and get going on something. That said, I think that there might be an opportunity to rope in someone through that process for the new program assistant. Who starts Monday?
What is the password for the Wi-Fi here? Is it pub?
Oh, shoot. It's
Up here, I can look at it.
Really
There should be one,
I think it was.
yes.
So the whole point of this is like, this opportunity is showing exactly, this is what we're problem solving. I'm gonna send this to you, we're gonna play with it, we're gonna mess with it, we're gonna get our signs done, we're gonna get our Spanish done, we're gonna get our audio done, we're gonna get them up, and then it's iterative. We're gonna evaluate it, we're gonna do the feedback. And then we need to start really thinking about what's next. Do we let it sit for some amount of time, get feedback, do evaluation, and then start on a new one? So we wanna really think about that. Is it shop art? Is it, what is it? So think about those kinds of things. I will send this to you and we will all problem solve this. Anybody have any questions for Miley? Like what she's doing next or what she's writing her thesis on or, anything for
Are you ready for thesis?
My thesis is actually going to be in archaeology. It's going to be about a specific bone tool. The way that archaeologists categorize bone tools for a long time really relegates them to what the archaeologist thinks they should be. And so that makes it really hard to go back into the literature and figure out what it might have actually been and how differences in how a tool looks may have actually been. So I'm going to do basically a critique of how that goes.
That's really awesome.
Are you working on your bachelor's, master's, or PhD?
Bachelor's.
The museum has had a relationship with Bob Naumann's class at CU Boulder for years. So I think the museum has, oh my gosh, 3 to 5 interns every semester.
And potentially y'all will be working with another intern on this or a different project.
All right.
Thank you so much, Molly.
Yes.
They've had interns before who don't get too far. This is like monumental.
Yeah.
I'm excited to agree.
As somebody who's has been working with you, she's done a great job and has been really on top of it and just go get her. She just went out and did it. And then we tore it apart, so.
And then we tore it apart. It's all right, she got a good grade, so. Thank you, Miley. And I recognize that your time is limited because it is a very busy time of year for everyone, so, yeah, whatever works for you. Yeah.
So next on the agenda is.
I will send you that painting stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is the Public Service Recognition Week event recap. Pamela, you were you were there at the
I was.
city council thing?
I did, I attended.
Thank you.
Tell us what it was like.
Well, there were people there, and I was the only one from AIPP, and I felt lonely. But I did meet Sheila, and I contacted, and I found out who she was, and that she films our stuff, and then I talked to other people, and it was really nice, actually. I mean, it was a nice little event, and I met some people that, that were on other committees and stuff, so that was nice. And I got, like a really cool cold-only glass with a straw.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. And they had really good cookies, which is one of my favorite things.
That's pretty good.
I mean, always very important, good cookies. and nice sandwiches and just, you know, it was just a nice little event and so,
And public recognition day.
well, I did have my name tag on and it said AIPP and people asked me what that meant. And I told them,
Awesome.
that's right. So,
So great, thank you for going and representing us.
Yeah.
well, I dressed up too.
You did.
I did.
Andrew in the
I didn't want them to think that I was one of those funky little artists. So, you know.
Did you wear your Christmas holiday elf tag, or did you put your real name on?
I put my real name on and I had on a long dress and jewelry and everything.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Very nice.
you wouldn't have recognized me.
No.
Yes.
She was wearing incognito.
So, and Sean was there, and so that was, it was, all in all, it was a nice event, it was worth going,
Thank you.
yeah.
I saved sharing my sickness, the new virus, so you know.
No, people did ask where you were, and I said, she's ill,
Yeah.
so she really couldn't come, she couldn't come.
I'm sorry, but thank you very much. And the images were great, and the feedback was fantastic, so.
Yeah, it was nice. I have not tried my cup yet, have you tried your cup, Sean?
I didn't take one.
Okay, yeah.
My wife has a limit on the number of cups that we bring into the house. It's like, you can, as a teacher,
I totally.
Oh,
or
yeah.
this and that. It's like one, if you bring everyone in, you're on the list.
One in, one out, right?
Yeah.
I totally
Pretty much it.
understand that, yeah.
We have that rule about once, and if ever anyone in that area goes,
Yeah.
but right now I like all
Get
my
everything.
little ones, so.
Yeah.
I hope
This
they,
is a turn.
I hope you have it again next year. I'd like to go to these things, I was out of town.
I think that city clerk's office is doing a really great job of working on that engagement. They did a lot of social media and outreach for the application process and submission process for boards and commission. People are still dragging their feet on, I think they're being really selective in what they're joining, but, thank you to the three of you who,
Well, I think, Sean, weren't there about 70 people there, do you think, or is it, am I exaggerating?
Well, I think almost the entire Callahan board was there. And
Oh, definitely, the Callahan board
And
was
then
there.
it was, there was a few other folks, but it wasn't like what we kind of anticipated. It was like, they had maybe as many seats as we have here in rows, and we still had space, so.
Yeah,
It's
people
one of
were
those things.
standing, yeah.
And I don't know what this connection was, or people, it's like, one day, that week out there. That's probably more or less.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad weather, I mean, it's not that
No,
bad,
it was
it was
lovely.
maybe a turn.
It was lovely weather, it was really nice.
Probably everybody in the same boat I am.
well, yeah, I mean, it's really something.
Around.
Well, and typically, of course, Museum Advisory Board and our public places, we wrap our volunteer appreciation in the fall with the museum volunteers, so. We ask, we'd like to treat you on all the seasons.
But, yeah, it was.
Well, thank you.
But I did meet some people, you
That's
know, they
great.
volunteered, for really hard things. You know, like public housing, traffic. And I was just going,
Ugh.
Permitting board.
yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm so happy to be on the ARP.
Takes all sorts. All right.
Okay. Lincoln Alpine project update.
All right, y'all. I don't know what you've been doing for the past 2 weeks, but we are full speed ahead. So, let's see. You have your QR codes, you have the flyers, social media campaign is underway. Pamela gave you some, the first right of refusal email, so anyone who has participated with us in the past regarding murals, expressed interest, expressed concern from the neighborhood, people that came to the November event, people who came to the January event, and And anybody who has contacted us from ancillary sources got the first opportunity to sign up.
No.
That said, there is going to be plenty of room for anybody who wants to participate, and that is the message going forward over the next week. Anybody who wants to come. No language barrier problems. No problems with if they can't hold a paintbrush because of XYZ. I have accessible tools that we can use. There's no age barrier. I would love it if there was an adult to every kid 10 and under, just because. But no one is going to be turned away. So currently there are 400 spots. As of yesterday, day before was today, Thursday, Tuesday. Anyway, when we launched the social media campaign and everything was a go, Pat, I double, triple checked. I was like, weather looks good, you look good, we're good. So that launched at 5:30 at night. By 8 a.m. the next day, of our 400 slots, 56 were signed up. That's more than 10%. It's looking good. Press release is about to go out shortly. Nextlight has been helping me immensely from a facilitation point of view, getting me the van that we're going to use. So when we tear down every night, we load it into a van and don't have to unload and reload. So they've asked if we can say that they're a partner. And I think that is very fair. Excuse me. Nextlight, as you know, has massive infrastructure over the last X number of years, and which has contributed to the Arkham Public Places Fund. I think it's very appropriate if you are all agreeable. No vote needed, just thumbs up, thumbs down. Great. So that will then be a part of the press release. As soon as the press release goes out, we can expect those numbers to jump. It's about 25 people, painters, per shift for 2 hours. Pat wanted to do 4-hour shifts, and I think that that's just too long. I fear that people wouldn't sign up because they're like, ooh, 4 hours is too much. But they can totally sign up back to back. Works great. So it is, and this was
Once people are there painting, they're gonna like.
Press
you're gonna want to say it. Go ahead.
Press is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I did talk to my physical therapy people and gave them the hard sell, so tomorrow I'll go by and a lot of people at physical therapy were interested.
Awesome.
They thought it was really sounded fun.
It
And
is.
so I'll bring these.
I have cards for you and I have flyers. I also have digital.
Oh, good,
With
yeah.
links embedded. So it should be,
Yeah,
it should
give
be
me all that
totally rocking. I'm going to send all of this to you in an email, but I also, just between Evan, who can't be here tonight, and we have some roles in the volunteer front that I just need to know that y'all are gonna be there. So instead of putting me on the spot.
I will tell you that I do have mobility issues.
Of course.
I really want to paint, but I don't think I can. But I can supervise and organize and all that stuff.
As much as you can do, and even if that is being the greeter and making sure everybody
I can do
does
all.
a name tag. There is something for everyone, I promise you, no matter how much time or energy or ability, all of that, presence, passing out flyers, there's something for everyone. So,
Question,
this is a little unfortunate, yes.
are we setting up there on the knoll at 9th and Elmwood?
Yes, so Evan, I very intentionally looked at Evan's, through the high school, his internship requirements, and looked at where he needed to demonstrate those leadership roles, and he put this together. He has decided the roles of how many volunteers we need, what the setup's gonna look like. He's asking for cornhole. Does anybody have cornhole?
I know.
Corn? Was it okay? I'm gonna make
Why
phone
is it
calls.
hard for
I bet you
them?
can't carry it. It's hard from Whitney or so.
You know what? That's exactly what I said. So he wants glow necklaces, maybe some face paint, balloons.
We have-
bubbles.
We have a
Dollar
budget
store.
for that to get a little, for the balloons and the base paint. We have that, we have a little budget to help.
I'm sure we can figure it out. It's just, it was, so this isn't the first time I've asked him, but he's had time to think about it, and then today he came with all of the ideas, which is fine. So what I said was, I talked to food trucks. They require minimums. We can't do that kind of thing. But Pat has a vendor of some organic snacky stuff that's gonna be coming and passing out, and we'll have the Sam's Club regular, so all those Cheetos and Takis that everybody loves. You're gonna get your chance.
I just saw Glow necklaces at the dollar store.
I think that they sell them at the dollar store too.
You can
So
get
this
mass
is-
numbers from
Hand out to the kids or
Everybody.
from Oriental Trading Company. That's where I've got stuff like that is just,
Yeah.
It's cheap.
yeah, they're
It's online.
for larger quantities. it's
Yeah.
cheap because it's cheaper.
Awesome. So I'm gonna do my best and take his wish list and make all the dreams come true. I have a bubble machine, karaoke. I'm sure somebody has karaoke. So it's great because he's showing me.
That's tough.
He's showing it, he's like, I want it to be like a block party. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's, this is his deal. But he also brought some really extremely thoughtful things. We need sunscreen for everyone, absolutely. Hand washing station, totally. Porta potty, yep, absolutely. All of these, very, very thoughtful things as well. So he's doing a good job. He's 17, so
That's nice.
he's doing good. Yeah.
So when we do art walk and other things like that on Main Street, I've seen those portable gray ones. Do we rent those or do we own them?
We rent them. Yep. And it actually is relatively affordable. It's not super inexpensive.
So that sort of thing that I'm thinking.
Yep. And that was budgeted into the project. Yeah. Because toilets are.
Yeah,
And while you're getting it delivered, you might as well have hand wash.
yeah.
And if I'm asking Whitty, because this is a water heavy situation, I'm gonna ask them if they'll lend us kegs and fill them with water and give me a keg pump and use them as weights for our tents. Big schlepping kegs every day. Makes me very excited. But
Do you need a diamond bucket?
I have Dolly.
I have a great song.
We have weight.
Is
So I'm gonna go through all,
Is that just for hand washing? Is that what you're laying the buckets for?
we're gonna have to do brush washings.
Oh, yeah.
And the brush washing really does take a lot of.
I did find on Amazon, there's like a portable water station
Yeah.
type thing, and they're not very expensive, and then you just have to connect the water, like jugs of water to it.
Well, so I'm renting one,
Okay.
but what I don't understand is like how to refill it, and of course, just based on my experience, I've done the keg thing before. Like, you can get a keg, a clean keg, filled half up with water, ends up weighing about 40 pounds, and I'm exhausted by the time I'm done. But they hold the tents down,
Yeah.
because we have massive wind issues. And the little weights that we have for the tents sometimes are good enough and not. Anyways, these are the things that we're talking about. So when we're talking about volunteer shifts and setup, like, it's a heavy lift. So really think about the volunteer shifts that we're looking at and talking about. Every volunteer shift that you sign up for, so I'm gonna say it in two different ways. There's painting volunteers, those are like public participants. Please don't sign up for those. And then there's this event support. Please do sign up for these.
This is the 10th.
This is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Next week, starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We don't need like face painting or something like that, because my daughter does that, and I was thinking if you get her to come down, that's just maybe on the weekend when kids are around.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday only.
That's fine. What I wanna do is make sure that, like, if we're asking a service of somebody, that we're able to A, accommodate them, and B, pay them fairly for their work.
Oh.
We're not asking people to do
Whoa,
things for free, no.
She'll be there all day.
So I don't have hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but
Yeah.
I have fair wage.
Okay.
And since this is like added value, right? So this isn't something like we're publicizing. We're definitely publicizing that this is a family-friendly event, and painting is what we're doing. And Evan would like to see it as a block party.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm very
Is this
excited
time Monday?
actually.
Or is it Sunday?
I just prayed.
Well, the weather right now is looking, better than it looks outside right now. High of mid-70s, low of 50s, which is great for paint diffusion, so we're good in that front. Is looking like afternoon showers.
So through Monday or Sunday?
Right now through the 21st, that's, Sunday, okay. Happy dates for
I know.
Monday.
I know, and I wrote down the week after.
Uh-oh.
Because who knows why?
Just
Yeah,
a quick
it's
aside, I know that there's a bank that is giving out sunscreen in relatively large packets at some event I went to a few years ago. I have some at home and I'll just text it to you or I'll send it to you and see if you can inquire if they still give those.
I'm probably just, so, because we're the city, I can't go to a business specifically and ask them,
Okay.
you know, because then I would really be needing to ask all the banks and, you know, and for these two. So I can't do that, but I have some sunscreen. Sam still has some sunscreen.
Right,
Yes, no,
we're
that,
not gonna use a gallon of.
we're in a box holder, like, you know, okay, yeah.
Okay, so do we have music or a speaker or anything like that?
I do, yes, and, so, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Evan is meeting with the youth center tomorrow at 3:45. He's going in and he's recruiting folks to come. If they would like to have their own dedicated time, we're gonna do that for them, and he's asking all of these questions. What's gonna make you come? And I was laughing with him, and Evan, and he didn't laugh. I was like, what music do they wanna hear on my Spotify account? Because if you have Angela's playlist, like, those kids probably ain't gonna come running in the make an outline, you know? So, like, what is it that they wanna hear? What does this event look like and feel like for you, Evan, 17-year-old Longmont?
Yeah.
You know, so yes, music definitely. I just have a little speaker that I'm probably gonna stick in a Home Depot bucket, and it'll be louder. Justin, who's not in town right now, has a nicer one that I will have to ask permission if I can plug into. But yeah, so I think we're covered on that front. DJ kind of situation is probably outside of the budget and the realm of reality. And
We a DJ.
And also, we're kind of going back to that setting precedent, like, we're setting precedents, right? Like, what we do for one community when we can, we want to be able to do.
Do for everyone. I
So,
was gonna say, I was there to paint the original one that's there now, like the older one actually. Yeah. And there was nothing. I mean, it was just
I know.
us painting, but it was great.
It's great.
It was just us painting, it was fun.
I know. So, we'll just remember that the city manager's office granted us, Evan, and this is the project. So, and we've been talking about diversifying our reach and getting to youth has been a big one, and this is the best way we can do it.
Yeah,
is
I think that this
meet people where they are.
This is a good opportunity to see all these ideas he has, what really works and what really doesn't, and then we can inform our future events from what we learn from this.
So this is.
There are a lot of things that are on this list that our friends in the sustainability office
Probably not.
probably not be super jazzed about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just said that to
Yeah,
everybody over here, like, gosh, plastic junk,
I know.
balloons are heavier, environmentally.
The glow sticks got me
It's all
feeling on
plastic,
that
it's
one. I'm like,
all
oh gosh,
plastic.
yeah, I can't handle those.
Well, then that is where you as a board, I'm sorry that he can't be here, but if you as a board say, okay, glow sticks, hey, no balloons, or whatever, please advise.
Yeah, I would really hate to see us litter everywhere.
Yes.
The glow
Stays there
sticks,
forever.
exactly.
And we're 1,000-year balloon piece.
We're not gonna be in the dark.
Well, that's the thing, that's probably what my thought is, like, we're not gonna be in the dark for the glow sticks, so I feel like that might be an unnecessary, like
Down,
purchase.
I'm in the tunnel, it can be.
But that's
in
an
the dark.
alternative.
That's true, that's true.
As an alternative.
As the kids are playing.
We could do
But-
something like where we have like, Fruit Loops and a string, and kids could make a necklace, or, you know what I mean? There could be an alternative to plastic blow bracelets and stuff like that, that will never biodegrade. So that would be my suggestion, and then that's
Okay.
something that the kids can do with their adult or whatever, with each other, when their adult is painting, and they're, you know, kind of, or they can make a little bracelet and then, you know, they can eat or whatever.
Do you see the person facilitating children activities as the same person who is doing greeting and name tags?
I think.
Or does this need to be a completely different volunteer?
I think there should be a different volunteer, because
Okay,
You
y'all
cannot-
available?
you cannot leave children unsupervised, right?
Okay.
And that-
Let's talk about our event needs right now, and then let's talk about extras. Okay, so first and foremost, and I should just do this up there, but I'm sorry. So Wednesday is the 17th. There's only a morning shift. So when I say shift, I'm gonna write this down. So this is the public shift, and then there's gonna be the event support shift. Okay, that's you. Public shift is from 9 to 11 and 11 to 1 on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it is 9 to 11, 11 to 1, and then a break, and then 3 to 5, 5 to 7. And Sunday, there is only an afternoon bit, and the afternoon bit is 3 to 5 and 5 to 7. Does that make sense to everybody? And 25 right now, public people can sign up for themselves plus 3 for any shift at any of these times. It's 400 people. Okay?
So, what was, I'm sorry, Angela, for
Yeah,
hearing.
no, you're fine. I totally recognize that this is.
3 to 5, 5 to 7, okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send this to you again, all in the email, but I didn't want to overwhelm you with, oh my gosh, like, what am I looking at?
But when are those event stuff?
Okay, so now
Is
let's talk
part
about
of-
the bad stuff.
Are the event support times different?
Yes, of course, because we have to set up, we've gotta blow up balloons or not blow up balloons, you know. Right, so let's talk about, this is talking about essential to do this project and to do it right, okay? Okay, in blue, your shifts. I have 6 presently different kinds of help that I need. The first kind of help that I need is set up people. It's physical, okay?
No, yeah.
Set, and that is okay, because there's lots of us now.
Oh, yeah, I can do all kinds.
Okay. Setup, it needs to be an hour at least before the shift. So on Wednesday, it's gonna be an 8 a.m. thing, and I think 2 hours, because that's labor intensive. Anybody feel differently about that? So that's a 8 to 10. These are the things I'm hoping you're thinking in your brain right now. I can or cannot on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm sorry. Event setup. Maybe I should go through all of them. Then I need a greeter, paint facilitator. That's somebody who is going to be like, here's a clean brush, your clean stuff, your what to do based on what Pat's direction is, which I really don't know if this is going to be very similar to what Jenny Melmer did or very different. I don't know. But his assistant did say that we are the most organized community paint he's ever done, so I think that that's a good thing. Hopefully that doesn't mean that they just come in and be like, do this, you know what I mean? Okay, so also the paint facilitators are going to be probably cleaning brushes, okay? So these paint facilitators need to have the same shifts. Okay, Between staff and Evan, we're gonna cover the gap time, so everybody can go home, have a break, have a nap, come back. And then same kind of thing with it. Then we're gonna have somebody at the paint station. We're gonna need to try and keep it clean. We don't wanna dump the paint into the road. So that's gonna have to be somebody who, is tidy and has a steady hand and all of that. Oh, and has patience. Because what we did learn through the Kylie neighborhood is everybody comes up to this person all at one time and they love pink. And pink's not open right now, it's 90 degrees, and it's drying out, we're doing green. So you just have got to have that air about you of being like, love you little kid, I'm gonna let you know when we open pink. Right now we're working on more or whatever, and just, this job is,
So I can do that.
it can be overwhelming because everybody wants everything from you all at one time, and then it's like waiting. Maybe walking through the tunnel, because two people need kind of fill-ups, but really staying at that station is going to be hugely important. So that's job number 3. I know you've got a question, and same kind of thing. Maybe 15 minutes before your shift or before the shift starts would be an ideal world. If we could do 4-hour hunks, that would be awesome. But I think we just keep it to. Okay.
Then we can just park at the school.
I would say park at Centennial and walk or bike. We've got tons of room for bikes. Parking is going to be very good.
Yeah.
The underpass goes right past the oligarchy ditch.
Yes.
Yes, of that.
Yes.
The oligarchy ditch is, among other things, an irrigation ditch.
It is.
So we need to be very careful that no paint gets into it.
Or kids.
There's gonna be a lot of fast water.
Well, there is.
This weekend.
And it's already weeping through that wall. That's a whole, yeah. Yeah, and it's leaking from the top. We are doing our best job to make this the best that it can. I've got painting guys going out there, they're scraping, they're siliconing. We're gonna make it the best palette we can make it. We're gonna paint it, and we're gonna hope that it lasts 10 years, and that's it. Because, the infrastructure of that box culvert is something that needs addressed, and Parks knows it, City knows it, it is not the priority, right?
Yeah.
But we've already painted it, it's already been tagged, we're doing this project, and then, you know what I'm saying? Okay,
The other
yeah.
thing is, I wanna make sure that, the entrance to the culvert on the park side, on the other
East
side,
side? No, west side.
south, whatever. it is,
South, I know, right? Whatever you call it.
that there's something there too to say, hey, you're
Yes.
to the community thing.
Yes.
Balloons or whatever we use or whatever, there needs to be signs or something there.
We also have a lot of really awesome sidewalk chalk. Sidewalk chalk is awesome, right? So in these down times, like we can go up the sidewalk and it'll stay there for the days. You don't have to pick it up or da. Yes, there will be people over there. We could do other music over there.
Just some kind of announcement that you're walking into a fun event.
We have A-frame signs, We just have to remember anything that we put out into this world, these lovely people, including myself and Evan and Eileen and, whomever, take out, we gotta clean up every day for 5 days, right? So it needs to make sense that it's there, right? And have purpose. Okay, so then after your painting station person, that is where your end of the tunnel person, whatever you want to call that, info person, because we're only doing one sign-up table, right? Is on the other end, and then greeter / sign-up person. That's going to be a seated role and epically important because we've got to keep these numbers. Right, so we're tracking, technically for SEFE, we need to track in and out. I have a matrix to try and manage that. We also have a clicker. These people count for participation for the museum. So there's dollars attached to these people, so having good records for this is really important, okay? Okay,
Sorry.
no, you're fine.
Could you explain that dollars attached, like, so like if you have 500 people that come out, you get more dollars?
If we have any people come out, there are, because Art in Public Places falls under SCFD, which is the Science and Cultural Facilities District. It's 1 penny on $1 that was voted, what, 80s, 90s, in the 90s? So the counties that fall under SCFD are in different tiers. There's the top tier, Botanic Gardens, Denver Museum of Nature and Science, Denver Art Museum, and the zoo. They get giant check, close to millions of dollars because of their attendance, because of it. But attendance doesn't just mean somebody who buys a ticket and comes into an exhibit. It means attendance for all programs.
Yeah, it's yearly.
So we have to, every single year, so we're in the middle tier. And Kim, when she was here, that was one of the biggest things that she did, was moved us up from tiny tier, tiny tier was like 5 figures a year, to middle tier, which is 6 figures a year. And all of that is big, and that actually funds, right now, it funds our fund development person. So it's this very smart thing of getting dollars back.
So is Evan, you said Evan was talking to the youth center, what is the youth center?
What is the youth center? The Children, Youth and Families has a location that is very close to 9th and Alpine. What is the road? And
It's
Oh,
at the farm, it's
It's
at the
on-
other side.
It's on Lashley.
It's on the
Lashley.
other side of Centennial Park, it's sort of,
It's the
Farm
one that
or
has
adjacent
the
to
big multicolored sculpture that has this
To
big
dance,
joy and
yeah.
cooperation and all that.
it has one of our sculptures out in front of it. And so Children, Youth and
that's people
Families.
say inside.
Oh, yeah, the box. Eating on
Yeah,
the outside. So Children, Youth and Families office is there, but also I need to be responsible. The work that they do out of Children, Youth and Families, out of that center is massive. So kids come there after school, they have programming that directs them to, alternative, not get into trouble kinds of things and whatnot. Anyway, so Evan is going to meet with the kids who come there after school, the youth that comes after school, and try to get them involved in
Oh, okay.
participating with us, yeah. Okay, so greeters, and then the last one, did I answer all the questions? Sorry, we're all over the place, but that's okay. And then of course there's tear down, right? And so tear down is gonna be an hour before. So if, on Sunday, if we're ending at 7, it's gonna be 6, and then on Wednesday when we end early, it's gonna be 10. And that is gonna be lots of fun, because that's when I bust out the dad jokes.
So tear down is gonna be every day.
Has to be.
You just can't leave it stuff
Or
out.
we can't leave it up. Okay, so what are we gonna set up and tear down on Wednesday? Same thing as that?
Buckets, clipboards, folders and waivers, pens, first aid kits, toilet paper, name tags.
Okay, but I'm
Tents,
just wondering why we're gonna go
chairs.
from 9 to 1.
So this is the public participants, right? So our setup and tear down people, I think those are just 2-hour shifts. So like if we get cornhole for some magic reason, like nobody's playing cornhole, great, we're gonna go put it in the van, And I just need help here because I can't commit to any of this.
No, I understand. Okay,
So I think the question is, so Wednesday, our shifts are 8 to 10 and 12 to 2.
If you're doing setup. All of these
Setup and
tear down, are those 2-hour shifts.
Okay.
And then these other ones will basically mirror the public participation stuff. And in an ideal world, if you are available and agreeable, signing up for 4 hours. So I'm gonna send this very consolidated to you in a sign up. I just wanted you to understand the
okay,
differences.
yes, that helps me.
Does that make sense?
So when is Pat going to outline all this?
Wednesday, imagine. He's coming. He's coming Tuesday, which means he'll show up on Monday. But I work over there, so my power washing is done. I have talked to Detective Killian, who is my new BFF. He is awesome.
Yeah.
I have him on standby if I need to call him. Anybody who is signing up. Yep, we'll talk when what your role is and what you are looking out for, and people that we know are going to be there and are invited to be there, and maybe someone or some people who maybe shouldn't be there, right? The other thing is our beat cops are going to be coming and checking in on us and just saying, hey, how you doing? The trail technically will be closed. It also closes at 11 p.m., so there's no reason that anything should be happening there anyway.
We have some kind of a
Lock off.
mesh or something to put over the entrance on your side or at night.
No, hold on just a second. No, we're,
Yes, we know.
So if Patrick's gonna come on Wednesday to explain everything, does that mean everyone should come on Wednesday at a certain time?
you want to?
Yeah, I mean, okay, it just seems.
Well, on Wednesday, we know we have something happening from 8 to 2.
Correct.
I mean, I think that there's gonna be outline work happening and blocking is gonna start on Wednesday. You wouldn't have public.
Yeah,
If,
Public is not going on Wednesday.
right.
Okay, all right, that's what
So, a question.
Yes.
You hinted at
Yeah,
was the presence of a beat cop and maybe people that recognize individuals that probably have no business being around children,
yes.
is what you're hinting at.
Anybody who's going to
Do we have, okay, so do we have any sort of thing when we do have people sign up, that somehow kind of, indemnifies, let me get that right, that
Yes.
prevents us from getting nailed for accidentally, kind of,
The waiver.
yeah.
Yep. Yep, photography, and because we would like to take pictures of people and use them in perpetuity in all formats, including on the web, et cetera, et cetera. Anyone under the age of 18 has to have it signed by a parent and guardian. All of that will be emailed to them in advance when they do the sign up. We will have availability for drop-in. If you're over the age of 18, awesome, drop in, give us your name, do the thing, sign a waiver. If you're under, if your parent drops your kid off, go paint, and you don't have the waiver, then I'm gonna say, hey, can you call your folks, have them come and sign this. It indemnifies, it's gone through legal and all of those things. And then overnight, we had talked about, doing things to make sure that we're mitigating any problems before we're able to put the sealant on. And so I have spoken to our friends at the police officers and how they prefer to do it. And they are not keen on our idea of having a bonfire and, marshmallows and hot cocoa and staying up all night down there. They said thanks, but no thanks. So they're gonna take care of it, for us. And, there's going to be lots of eyes on it, those things.
I do have to tell you, with our next light guys, that, okay, this is something really interesting, is having a conversation with them about how after the park situation, they put in so many cameras everywhere that, I had a wall in my hand, had something like that, they can spot check. It's quite the intricate filming and camera system that they have at several parks. And they use this high-speed internet that we have here, second fastest in the country. They were the first fastest, but now they're working back.
And guess what it does? At 2 a.m, it ring-a-ding-dings Angela.
Oh, yeah.
And Angela's like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like something you can't imagine. It's so high tech.
It is. So I hope that that makes everybody feel better, because I know we have had this conversation ad nauseam, and I just want everybody to feel really good. And all of you who are planning on your campus stuff, we're not camping. Yeah.
I have a question. On the days when there's the break in the afternoon.
Yes,
Who's gonna be there to make sure nothing gets messed up at that?
staff. We're gonna make sure that every volunteer gets an opportunity to go home. So between Eileen, myself, Evan, and Laura, who's starting on Monday, right?
She's gonna get.
And we start this project on Wednesday, and she said, I wanna start doing it from Pharaoh's. I was like, that's pretty good.
You gotta go get it.
Yeah.
So I was out at 6th Mile at the multicultural booth with council. And in the hour and a half that I stood out in the sunlight, without any sort of sunscreen, without a hat on, which I left the hat in the car, which was.
Well, luckily you could be in the tunnel.
That's why I have a burned nose.
Oh.
So, no.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we take care of people.
But really, for instance, we don't want to spend the night in that tunnel. It's really cold and dank.
No, we're not.
And nasty in there. You do not.
Well,
I really do not want to spend the night in that tunnel.
Well,
I don't think it.
I'm not going to.
Detective Gillian, he.
Well, I know he put the kibosh on it, but really, don't be disappointed. It's not fun. It's not gonna be fun.
Is anybody? No one has to be disappointed.
I don't wanna stay there. She gotta get swimming.
Yeah. Does anybody, so I think in a doggone nutshell, and again, I purposefully did not send this to you in advance because I wanted to explain
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
That's very good.
it.
So nothing on Monday and Tuesday.
Not for you unless you want to.
Okay.
I have to go and pick up our van, which is a police van that is not wrapped yet, but it still has the disco lights. So there's that. We're gonna be picking that up. We go to Parks, pick up our Jenny, get all just supplies, all together. I can use help. I can.
Okay.
So if you want to set, if you want to put me on Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday I might be able to go get it.
What was it? This is the heavy lift.
Well, right, but on Tuesday, what time are you picking up the van?
Monday, the van's coming in.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm between getting Laura's desk set up and excavating my cube and getting ready for another person in a 10 by 10 space, and this, we're just getting it together. I've got a huge list, and we're just gonna do it.
So, just touch base with you like Monday morning and see what time you might need help.
Yeah, it won't be on the site though. It's gonna be running
Right,
around,
sure.
picking up, stuff. Going to Sam's Club, getting really bad snacks and almonds or something, Photographer and all of this is to say that photography is going to be a huge thing. But other than that, I think everything else is pretty much not necessary for this conversation.
You've hired someone to do the photography event? Oh, no, okay.
We're the photographers.
Where is it from?
But I do have an SLR camera, so we can get some good ones, that kind of thing. So knowing that this is the structure, is there room for fruit loop necklaces? Do we need to add, because I see this as adding more capacity to do children's programming, and that's not don't think, but I don't know.
I think face painting is probably really.
Sufficient. Well, that's somebody else doing it.
I
That's
say
not
that
us.
and just change that over and just let him
Yeah,
run
yeah.
with that and then don't add anything else to your plate or to like the plates of any of the
Exactly.
staff or anything else. But if Evan has stuff that he wants to do, just let him be the ringleader on that and just let him do his thing. But I don't think that any of that is necessary, especially if you'll have music, and you can be your own DJ. People DJ their own weddings these days. So first off, that, and then having just a little bit, like the sidewalk chalk and snacks, and
Yeah.
I think that's plenty.
Yeah.
And the face painting when that is happening, I don't know.
Great.
There's not much child wrangling on the sidewalk.
Because, well, and that is just another added layer of responsibility.
Yes.
And also Evan has, with this, we talked extensively about the people that you can entrust in sending these free volunteer help me out asks to is the person that you would let babysit your puppy. Like, do you send this to everybody in school in your program? No, because you don't have these people, you're lost, right? And you're hung up. And I think that for the January event, I think he learned that the hard way. Sorry, Evan. But you know, he took on 1,200 door hangers, and we talked about 100 per hour is about what you can do. And I think he tried to get some peers and people to help him, and that didn't work out. He spent like 7 hours on his own, you know, and those are the hard lessons. So, but this lesson, right, this falls on other people big time. So I think he understands how critical this is to our success.
You know, when we do ACT and SAT testing, we've gotten kind of smart. We have a Google Doc, and one person kind of manning it to see, and then they give every teacher the access to it to put in a quick comment. Oh, having trouble over in this section here. So texting back and forth is not a necessity, but you can get on that Google Doc and say, we just have a huge spill of paint just over here that we need, you know, what to clean up in aisle 5 or whatever it is that you're dealing with. And that person goes, okay, now you send somebody with the right stuff, you're not getting the wrong information.
Yeah.
It might be something that's a good clearinghouse type of thing. It's simple
That's
enough.
a good idea.
Evan is used to using Google, I'm sure, because that's what the kids are using
Yeah.
in school.
And I think that is actually a really valid, and I'll put that in the feedback, is like shift report at the end. What did we learn for the setup people who was like, tomorrow, don't lift with your back, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just or we didn't need all of the weights, you just needed this many, but be ready to get the other ones, or some, you know, all of those kind of distilling. Yeah. And then he can be responsible.
You gave out too many brushes to,
Right.
or whatever.
Too much paint for 25 people, we only need this much, or that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and just, if, you know, then, of course, you know, if you're trying to, something happened, then it kind of, it's a record of what we had to go back in and get more hours.
That's good, I like that. And I mean, we could do it on a Google Doc, we also could include it like on a clipboard that you as volunteers put it on, and then he imports it. And it's in 2 places, hard copy for whomever shows up, digital copy if someone wants to check it the night before and see what's up. Love it. Other brilliant ideas?
Okay, so is, with all of these extra things he proposed and so forth, are we saying that we are gonna prefer to have just face painting and the music for the kids?
I think that's what I'm hearing.
And we're gonna opt out of the sidewalk chalk for right now?
Ooh, sidewalk chocolate you just put out.
Yeah, sidewalk chocolate.
Okay, so it's not, it doesn't require supervision, okay.
Yeah.
And, Ziploc bags, because we were gonna put like a few colors in each Ziploc bag.
That was smart the last time.
Yeah.
And we can use it for signage. So chances are on the Tuesday stuff that if there's opportunities for extra, we'll go and put that necessary signage that's on the sidewalks, we'll do it in advance.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright, Ziploc bags for sidewalks.
That'll be one of those things we'll pick up and.
We are gonna make this as easy peasy as possible. We learned a lot for Kylie, but again, this is critical. So you will see this.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yay, guys!
Yeah.
Any other questions related to Ninth and Alpine?
We are gonna feel so good when this is done.
It's been like 2 years.
Well,
Yeah.
so the original was 2018,
Yeah.
and then the first contract was 2019, the second contract was 2020. The third contract was last year, at the end of the year, and we've had an amendment and that doesn't include the 2018 model. So, I learned a couple things too. Okay,
So one thing that he could do, we have at my school, something called Mohai Mix, and they probably have that at Niwot or Silver Creek, and that's something that, they can just say, hey, the front and back of students that might want to attend and participate in health, and if they have that up there, then as something like that, you can just check with them. It's usually something associated with the school.
yeah.
And if the district could pass it through, then they might get more than enough volunteers and helpers of the high school age kids.
He got his digital today and he had plans. That might have been what it was, but that might have been one of the
Is this on
words
social media?
that went like in one.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like,
Oh.
this is social media through Instagram, and the kids just really follow.
Yeah.
No, there's not a kid in my school that doesn't have it on their phone.
I think but if you don't see it, all of this should be coming out like right now. And we just want to make sure that the neighbors and the people who have serious vested interests, like, here and here, that they got their first chance. And they also felt, as they should, they were prioritized. We really did prioritize them. Okay. Thank you I'll get down off the soapbox now.
Thank you, Angela.
Yeah, no, you've done so much work leading up to this, and I just want you to know, gosh, it's looking really good. And over 10% sign up in less than 12 hours is done. So once these things hit, it's gonna be significant. All right, ma'am.
You done there? Does anybody
I
have
think
any more
we're done.
questions? Y'all ready to sign up? Okay. Next, administrator update the spoke dedication.
So, I wish I could pull it up for you, but I'm not going to just because of time. AJ has done his first animation, and it looks good. It doesn't look great.
Yeah.
There's some problem solving that has to happen. So 2 things. One, it was supposed to be something, you click the QR code, you hold your phone up, you see the animation. That is not the case. You have to download an app.
It's a free app and you don't have to make
You don't have to make a user.
you don't have to sign in and have a password and everything. It's a free app. You just say yes, do the app. It took me literally 30 seconds to get
It wasn't hard. It's kind of annoying because I don't think that's what we thought it was going to be.
That's URL.
But we can take the animation, put it up on something like Story, and have the animation running, so someone could in fact just go to a web page and have the animation running, rather than having to do the fancy back and forth thing. Right now, if you can imagine a digital 2-dimensional, if you will, like screen, and if something were glitching, it would feel like the screen was like falling forward, or that the perimeter maybe wasn't holding the image. That doesn't make sense to anybody.
It's like the image
It's
does
glitchy.
this.
It's glitchy. It like the animation isn't holding on to the mural, like the parameters of the mural, so it's just not elegant. That said, when he fixes it, the fox wiggles its nose, it has some movement in the fur, and the rose is blue, and it's cool.
And there are circles.
And there's circles, and there's some things happening. So it is cool, and we are gonna get there, and we're holding his feet to the fire because ideally, I think it's time to dedicate this business and knock it off the list. Second Saturday Creative Crawl, which happens along 4th Avenue. They close down the street. The booth is at the firehouse. They will give it to us, of course. We could dedicate it June 10th. That is what I'm proposing because we can hold AJ's feet to the fire. He is painting Fiddler's Green right now. He's gonna start getting a lot of notoriety that way, and then we can say, yep, ours is dedicated, it's up. We're gonna have to continue to problem solve, but I think that that's okay. But I need you all to say, yep, we should do that, or we should hold.
Yep.
Yeah, nay.
It's Saturday,
Yeah, no, I want a different day. I'm just kidding. That's right. I'll be in town, but
Oh.
but yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's great though.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we need to have a vote.
Yeah, we need to vote.
So we need to make a motion that we do
I
this.
move that we do the dedication for the Fox mural on June 10th. And we are going to be at the firehouse. Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I would add the recognition that I got a lot of compliments on the 4th Street. I really did. I have a lot of people that just love the sculptures and the whole thing, so that was really nice.
Have people been down there? That street light was really wonderful.
4th Avenue.
What did I say? Sorry.
I've seen a lot of pictures on social media, on like Longmont, Colorado and stuff
Good.
of the sculpture alley, which is pretty
It's
cool.
really, and it's really accessible, you can walk right around each one, it's like, you
Nice.
get
I
right
love
up
it.
to it, it's really interesting.
The dancer, the wind was moving and she would, and you know, and it's like the arms and the legs were just like,
And she's the one that the hail took out.
Oh,
So just so you know, her dress broke.
no.
To be fair, it is mixed media and it was held together with a zip tie. So I think we're gonna be all right. But I drove into town, of course, and like saw the trees. I was like, no. And walked, and I mean, you know, everything was fine. No big dents or anything like that. But yeah, Dancy Lee, I'll bet she was having a heyday guys. Oh, she was really dancing. So anyway, that is awesome. The plaques are translated, the QR codes are on them, they're being manufactured. It took longer than I was hoping, but you know what? Awesome, okay.
What do you mean by clear back?
So, because we'll be on 4th Avenue for second Saturday, I was thinking if folks who can participate, and I will do this again, send you times, would actually take groups of people over to the mural and show them the archive. And say, this is this boat, this is Keeble, because that's what it's called, the big one on the top. And this is Blossom by Amy J out of Denver, and I'll give you talking points and whatever. And then you take folks and show them how they download the app and how it works.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I'll send you times on that, and then if it works, great, and if it doesn't, we'll just point and be like, go that way. But we will also, because of course we'll be on 4th Avenue, be able to tout the sculpture wall.
So what time are you thinking on June 10th?
It's whenever Irma is, and
Oh, at like 4 or something?
it's got very specific times.
Is Art Walk on the 10th?
Yeah, they do, it's now, so art, I guess, I should back up. Art Walk is a relic and was swooped up by the firehouse. And the big bad art walk with all, like where they really shut down Maine and have all the vendors, happens now once a year in September.
Right.
And then also, they do an art walk, which is the Creative District and LDDA and the Firehouse, who all work together, and they just closed 4th Ave between Kaufman and Maine, and they have booths and stuff along there every second Saturday, starting in May and ending with Art Walk in September. So it's May, June, July, August, and September, so there's 5 months. And of course, our sculpture will now be up going forward, so that'll be good. I will send you times, I don't remember what it is on that Saturday. Okay.
All right, new business?
The city applied for that turf reclamation project at Unity at Kensington and was awarded $25,000 from the state. I have a big bad 2-hour meeting supposedly on Thursday the 18th where I learned about it. So we'll see who signs up and if I can go or not. But I think that that's really exciting, and that means that all of our dreams are going to come true about protecting that thing from the mowers and then getting Mario over there to fix some of those pieces, because let's face it, that piece is so important in our collection.
Yeah.
But huge, right? That's That's the only new, Laura starts on Monday. She received her formal letter of hire, and so all she has to do is show up at HR, and then that's the thing.
You
Don't forget
for
something.
executive team?
Yeah, and then that's next. And then, museum director, I think that they're gonna be hiring soon. There's been a lot of conversations about, restructuring the museum and also within the city. My plea, and I think that it is being heard by both my big boss, which is Jeff Reesner. He is the director of golf and culture.
Golf.
Rec and culture.
No, it's a call.
Rec, library, culture, which means us, and golf. Library. Anyway, things that aren't parks. Anyway, I have asked him that Art and Public Places stay under the director of the museum, just because any sort of buffer between us and then the museum director and then the city is just one more layer of complication, and I think that that's being heard. If I need your support.
Yeah.
So not directly under Jeff.
Jeff, museum director, me.
Not adding another. So
Yeah.
you want
Oh,
to
not adding.
keep it the same, that's what you're saying, right?
Keep it the same.
Same.
Yes, exactly. No new buffers.
Okay, yeah.
So if I need your support, I'll let you know, but I think that that is being heard. And then last but not least, it is, the day has come where we need, to reselect and choose some folks to step into our executive team. Because Randy, who is not here, because of course it's school business time, is term limited and she's leaving the chair position. So, I sent all of you a note, and I think I've heard back from some. Formally, we're supposed to have a nominating committee. It has always worked better in the past for us just to have a conversation. Chair role, I think in an ideal world, having the vice chair step into a chair role works best in every board that I've ever had. And Cindy, not to speak on your behalf, has expressed interest in keeping that.
I know.
Sweet.
Okay.
Thanks, Pam. Second?
Yes, I second.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yes.
Okay, done. We good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
She's
I
like,
guess you have to accept that nomination.
I accept the nomination, do we have to vote?
Yep.
Okay.
Go to vote for the whole slate or one at a time?
One time.
Okay.
Okay, so let's vote for you.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Sweet, opposed, none, abstentions, carried. Fantastic. Okay, so that leaves Cindy's vice chair role open. Truth be told, on the vice chair bit, it usually is stepping in when the chair can't be there. According to our guidelines, the vice chair and the chair are supposed to switch off roles. I think it's mostly to cultivate the, feeling comfortable in that position. What's that?
I know they do.
Okay? Is there anybody else interested in vice chair?
Oh.
Knowing that potentially you would be moving into chair position?
Yeah.
You feel comfortable with that?
Yes.
She's got her
I'll
arms
tell you.
crossed. Body language says it.
I'll tell you.
It's also cool in here. I'm like freezing.
It is.
I'm sorry, I'm like sitting here like this, not because I'm crouching.
And you can have just about. Yeah, no, I think so, because, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll see, I mean, I do travel some, but it has managed to work out.
When you're working on a hybrid thing, you have a terrible experience, but it's getting there, like, we're getting there.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's,
fine.
okay.
I would say,
In the winter, it seems like we go to Zoom relatively often, so.
yeah, I'm out of town. And Jennifer, if you are out of town and the city's out of town, or somebody's sick, like, I'd be able to like run the meeting.
Yep,
Yeah, there's a-
That's the whole point of the executive team, and then being on a leadership role, mentoring new that come on, continuing, of course, to diversify, talk to people, be the advocate, but I think all of us are doing that anyway. And then, of course, there's we're gonna say quarterly, I think it probably happens 3 times a year, where executive team meets, looks at all of the big bad stuff, the key projects, key things that are coming in, and making decisions. Okay, so,
I'm good
Let's
to
vote.
you nominate Jennifer Miller
okay,
for vice chair.
Okay.
All in favor?
Okay, all in favor?
None,
Okay.
opposed.
Thank you for your faith in me.
All right, so then the other two roles, treasurer, which Stephanie you are holding on to in the present moment, secretary, which is presently vacant. One thing about secretary, in the new position, because Eileen, of course, is moving to becoming the secretary of the museum advisory, and we're only gonna torture her in one commission and board, not two. Program assistant is going to take over this, taking basically meeting notes, we'll say, to then lend itself into the meeting minutes, and then the new program assistant, Laura, her job is going to be formatting and sending it to the secretary, having the secretary do the grammar check, so we don't spend a lot of time in our meetings doing the minute business. So the secretary is gonna be receiving those, looking over those, making sure that it's an accurate record, saying yes and sending it on. So it shouldn't be daunting anymore, please.
So you don't have to talk.
That's all you gotta do.
That's what you're saying.
It's like when you get to participate in the meetings, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
It's like, it's so.
And there's not too much extra time.
Nope.
All right, put me in for,
All right.
Okay, is anybody else interested in the secretary business?
No.
They want to nominate?
I nominate Danielle. Secretary. Go for it. Yes.
All right, you get a second? Everybody second, okay. I'm gonna say Melanie.
Yeah.
Awesome, Melanie and, Pamela, thank you, Pamela. Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor?
No, opposed, none, abstentions, great. Treasurer, Stephanie, you're sticking with it. The hope is, since new program assistant is coming on board, we'll be better at reporting these quarterly, and certainly looking at the budget as budget cycle comes through, albeit we don't have a museum director, but we'll be fine. We're not taking on anything, we're not taking on any gateways in 2024, I was just saying that. So no big gateway projects, no six-figure projects.
What, gosh, I was in Spain last summer and they have these in like 4 places in Madrid. I forget what they're called, like they are gateways, but they have a name for them. They're these enormous things, right?
So cool.
They're like an triumph kind of thing, but yeah.
So cool.
They're like sculpted, they're either huge, they have like garden around them, they're huge. But anyway.
So we have Flor de Lano, of course, which is gonna get a haircut on the bushes. And electrical, believe it or not. We have Spirit coming into town, and then, of course, the big question mark is North. And it has been going back and forth, but I think that there's still, city land, annexation that has to happen, and we are not doing what other people do, which is put up the art and then take it down because they're redoing the building. So, I don't see in 2024 that happening, so we're not gonna budget for it. So that's the big treasure aha, basically. So other than that, pretty cut and dry status quo. So, you interested?
Yep.
Okay, anybody else interested in the treasure?
Yep. Stephanie, I nominate.
Okay, thanks, Pam.
A second.
Anything else?
All in favor?
Those extensions, okay.
That's so easy, thank you.
So when do these terms start? Next month?
July. Also, so then, yes,
Well, that's my only question is, what if I don't become, or what if I don't get put back in? I haven't heard anything.
No,
Oh, okay.
We're interviewing sometime.
No, I was apparently, I filled in for somebody.
I was thinking the same.
so the 3 of you who have reapplied, each of you filled in on a term that was not completed.
Yeah.
So technically, you haven't even started your first term. You have applied for your first term, which means that your year 1 of your 3-year term will start July 1 of 2023, and then you have the opportunity for 6 more years with you, if you're interested. So So those, we have to do an interview process, it will be on Zoom. There are specific questions, I do need somebody, who has not applied to sit in on those, one or two of you, Zoom. So, did I send you that email? I know, I sent it in my dreams, to you and Susan. You and Susan had done it previously, you had sat on it, but you can't because you have to.
Yeah, Jennifer. I did.
But you are applying, so you can't be on, do you, Pamela, are you interested in sitting on a Zoom?
Sure,
meeting?
sure.
Great, so I'll send you to, who's my third? Teresa. I will send you, times for potential Zoom meetings. Pamela, Cindy? No, you don't want to. You don't want to.
Sure, it depends on.
I guess you know, I'm really good at
It
it.
has to be by the end of this week.
Sure.
It probably will be like Monday or Tuesday of, not next Monday, but Monday fall.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can send me the information, I'll let you know if it's possible.
Perfect.
Yeah, I can do it.
You guys don't like me like shoving all this, you have to do this stuff down your throat, because I'm sending you a lot.
Actually, doing the interviews is very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It
fun
is
to know these new people and look at all their.
Yeah.
Do
We
we
have-
have applicants? We have
We
zero.
have 0 new applicants, and then one person who applied for the job and then told me that she rescinded her application. I tried to get her on the board, and she couldn't go. And I reached out to Noah Hess, and he does not have the capacity right now, I'm trying to get him back to.
Yeah, that would be good.
I know. Okay, so that is all I have, ladies.
So you need applicants though, you're trying to get applicants?
Oh, I'm sorry, nominate, not formal nominating committee for the reapplications, Jennifer, Danielle, and Teresa. And then we make a recommendation to council, council will, do their interviews, and then they're reappointed.
Oh, okay.
The deadline's done.
Deadline.
Yeah, the deadline is for new, right, for right. Okay.
So is that it for new business? Is anybody have anything else?
Nope.
I do,
Make sure you got it.
Oh, sure.
question for you.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we had that discussion about shrinking the board down and all of that. Like,
Attrition.
yeah, like this is why, like these events, like the painting event, I felt like it would be bad to have fewer people. Because if
Right.
there's somebody who's sick or whatever,
Yeah.
can't come. So, I don't know, I just wanted to hear your perspective on that, because like, when we're signing up for all these shifts 4 days in a row, like, that's a ton of work, right? And so if you need as many people
But
as
it's
you can,
also true that we
that
are.
you can leave your puppy with. Right?
Yeah, it's true. And when we're not, I mean, I can play devil's advocate on any argument, you know, that this guy's reading, so I'm gonna play it. And we're still sitting at 12
That's been 12 people.
For
We have
X number of years.
15.
Some commissions, boards, you know, don't need to be as large, but I think for the fact that you guys really kick in high gear when it comes to the spring and summer and in the fall,
During the travel
that
time.
can really be kind of a little bit of burnout on people.
Yeah.
And so having more on a board like this is probably logical.
Yeah, it could be debilitating.
and maintenance, right? Like, as the collection continues to grow,
Yeah.
and on the devil's advocate, so city clerk, there's no board that's this large. So the question is 15 the right number? Is 13 the right number because we're getting 12 all the time? Is it 11?
But didn't we
Don't
just not advertise for positions that were 1 year, like when they were 1 year?
Did not.
Did not, so we
Yes.
didn't ask for that, so.
Yes, we're absolutely trying to avoid the situation where we get folks in for only the 1 year and then they have to apply again, because let's face it, the application is kind of, you know,
Yes.
it's kind of, you know,
Well, bureaucratic.
it's bureaucratic. So, so we did not advertise heavily for that, but we had 5 up to 6, and our guidelines say we can only have 5 rolling in and out. And, you know, 3 at most at any given time is best. And also, we are now down from a June and December application process to once a year.
Oh, and
So
then,
that makes it a little harder too. We do not have to choose to minimize the board at all. Attrition, only been suggested, and
I just wanted to hear your perspective, like, you know, in the context of today, like, I'm looking at that going, okay, I'm working, but I'd like to be there as much as possible, maybe I can do a shift every other day for 4 hours, whatever, you know, but I, like, all of us have to pitch it in order to make this thing happen.
Right, we pretty much do. So.
my interest, personally, would be to find ways to have youth sit,
Oh, that'd be so
like,
great.
and I just don't understand why not we can't do that. Does that mean that maybe there's just instead of 15, we take it to 13 and it's, and that, you know, and a member of the youth council sits on it? Like, how can we start being creative? And then also, with the hybrid, as we get better and better with that, I think that that's how we're gonna start filling seats, is being able to be versatile with someone who has kids, who can't leave, who works nights, and online is how they can participate, and being available to a different population that we're just not reaching right now.
Well, I think
That's
some
my
boards
personal-
and commissions, like the Callahan meets during the day, they would have many more people if they met at night.
Right.
And it really is the time to start doing it. You guys are smart for doing it after, you know, work hours. This is the time when people are generally available to do it once a month.
Well, thanks for answering. I
Of
just wanted to
course.
hear your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would have felt a little worse about the situation if all of the other boards got massive amount of applications in week 2. And the city clerk's office sent a note to council and to us, letting us know what the applications looked like. Granted, people always wait until the last minute, but it wasn't just us.
Yeah.
People aren't applying for boards and commissions. I think it's getting better. Plus, we're still straight coming out of COVID.
Yeah.
So, and Randy, who is term limited, has to sit for a year, and I will continue to tell her, please come, stay engaged, and then when that year is up, join us again. And, you know, Teresa's back, like you've served previously, so, you know.
Well, I think maybe it's also intimidating for people to make a 3-year commitment, right? They're like, well, maybe I have to do it for a year, make sure I want to do it, like, you know, because it's a long commitment, you don't want to let people down.
And maybe that's it too, where like we do a better job of inviting people to come because our meetings are open meetings, and say, sit, before you apply for a 3-year term, come sit and see, is this something you want to do every month? Because if it is, then apply, but if it's not.
It proves that it works because you just got an applicant that you would approved because she came to a meeting. Like,
So we can say this now because she got her
Yeah.
formal letter. Laura attended our places meeting. She was one of Danielle's employees. And so Danielle, of course, was on the hiring committee, and I had to call Danielle and was like, you can't be on the hiring committee anymore,
Yeah.
and I can't tell you why. So after I applied, how many applications did I go through? Well, 30.
Yeah.
Went through the 30, interviewed 5, 2 withdrew. And then, yeah, Laura just, you know, I think it's gonna be a good fit.
Interested.
It's, you know, that there's no such thing as a unicorn. I was hoping, but unicorn didn't show up. So, yeah, but I think she's really
She
engaged.
may grow that one for you.
I can't tell. It's a program assistant job. It's 30 hours a week, and I think that for what it is, she's good fit. She likes the new office I made her.
My real question for you though, really
Yeah.
was, with this stuff, are we allowed to put some community bulletin boards around town?
Heck yes, as long as you take it down, you're done.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes,
Okay.
but please take it down when you're
Oh, yeah.
done. Just because it's got the cities, you know, we're city servants and we don't want to leave our garbage for someone else.
Because Ozo is, they will let the manager over there always is like, oh, use that. So I was like, I'm gonna look for these two. So.
Evan has 30, he didn't tell me where they were.
Okay, so remember we had that reception for people that were interested in the museum board for AIPP? It was pretty well attended,
It was
really.
very well attended. Kim put the kibosh on that. I don't remember remember why.
Oh, when I started.
We've got a little mouse. Okay.
Yeah, we
We
did.
got many.
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep, you gotta hit the road.
Right.
Okay, any other commissioners' comments on the formal agenda or minute or on the clock?
All right.
Okay,
Good job, everyone.
oh, wait,